Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. My dear Islamic brothers and viewers of social media, we are still continuing the topic questions and answers about Islamic veil. Parde ke bare mein swal jawab. So the first question here it mentions, what if a scholar's or imam's daughter does not observe veil? These days we come across many tests that we are facing, my dear Islam brothers. There might be a wife, there might be a sister, there might be a daughter that we are facing these kind of tests, that they are not wearing the veil. And many workplaces around us, we come across that it's a big test for our sisters nowadays. So the question here says, these days even daughters of some scholars and imams do not observe veil properly. And the answer to this question is, even if you see a scholar or an imam or spiritual guide's daughter not wearing a veil, then for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, do not use this as a proof to destroy your afterlife. And do not indulge in any badgumani, meaning i.e. ill opinion about the scholar, imam or qualified spiritual guide either. We are living in a very testing times, my dear Islamic brothers and sisters. These days, very few children are obedient towards their parents. A scholar or spiritual guide can only discipline his child or children within the boundaries of Sharia. In some cases, they can discipline them as well, but they cannot kill them. It is not possible that the scholar or spiritual guide or an imam might have fulfilled his legal obligation of counseling his daughters. But for some reason, the daughters, the sisters are not listening to their parents. So moving forward, another question here, it mentions these days, if a scholar or spiritual guide's family does not act according to the Sharia, then community members insult him with the comments such as, these people preach the community but not their own families. Answer here, it mentions people who unnecessarily suspect and oppose scholars and imams and mashayikh are unfortunate. You must remember that preaching and advising is of course the duty of scholars. But guiding people, changing their hearts and reforming wicked humans is under the omnipotence, meaning the control of Allah Almighty. If any scholar or spiritual guide or an imam, in fact any Muslim, does not make all necessary attempts to reform his children, then he is definitely making a mistake, but we do not have the right to offend him unless Sharia permits. Scholars and non-scholars alike must fear Allah's wrath. The following is an admonitory story. Here it mentions Sayyidina Malik bin Dinar alayhi rahmatullahil Ghaffar said, it is reported that in Bani Israel there was a scholar who used to gather people and preach to them in his home. One day the scholar's young son gestured to a beautiful girl. His father saw him and said, son, be patient. Meaning this is what he said, be patient. As soon as the scholar said this, he fell flat on his face and suffered a severe injury on his head. Allah Azza wa Jal instructed the Prophet alayhi salam of that era to go and inform that scholar, I will never let a Siddiq, meaning this meaning of Siddiq means saint of the highest rank, to be born amongst your progeny. Was it enough frustration for my sake just to say, son, be patient? In other words, why did you not take it hard line on his son? And why did he not prevent him properly to avoid the sin? Last question inshallah. In the Ramadan al-Mubarak, can women perform Umrah with their husband or any reliable mahrim? The answer is, yes, she can. However, Umrah is not obligatory, fard or wajib, therefore it is not a sin if a woman does not perform it. It is worth thinking about the fact that these days it is almost impossible for a woman to avoid unveiling and mixing with men during Umrah, especially in Ramadan al-Mubarak. For this reason, I suggest that women should avoid performing Umrah or Nafil Hajj. However, if an Islamic sister is well aware of the proper method of veiling and can fulfill its requirements and avoid mixing with men, and she can book separate flat or room for her, then there is nothing wrong with such a woman performing Umrah or Nafil Hajj. Unfortunately, most of the time these days, non-mahrim men and women reside together in the same room of rented apartments in Haramain Tayyibain, i.e. Makkatul Mukarramah and Madinatul Munawwara. The same happens in Mina and Arafat tents. Modest Islamic brothers and sisters who have the Madri mindset of observing Shari veil face severe tests in these situations. If an Islamic sister intends to perform Umrah or a Nafil Hajj simply for the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal, then she can give the money that she would have spent on this virtuous deed to a desperate individual, severely ill patient, unemployed person, a debtor, or severely needy person instead, with the intention of acquiring spiritual reward and thereby accumulate a priceless treasure of spiritual reward for herself and earn the prayers of a grief-stricken heart. He is a couplet that mentions, for the sake of preaching good, send me wherever you want, but I wish I visit Medina regularly in my dreams. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. My dear Islam brothers, inshallah today is Saturday, and every Saturday, as you know, we have the Silsila of Madani Muzakara, which will take place around about 6 p.m. this evening. It's a Madani request that you come to Fazani Medina Halifax and join us in the live transmission to learn the religious knowledge, inshallah. May Allah Azza wa Jal bless you and give you the ability to instruct your household to tune into Sky 746. And you can get the link from YouTube, and you can share this link when the live Madani Muzakara will start, inshallah. May Allah Azza wa Jal reward you immensely. Ameen. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen. Jazallahu anna Muhammadan ma huwa ahlu. Oh Allah Azza wa Jal, accept our Salat al-Zuhr. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, accept this short dars regarding veil. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, today's day and age, we are in testing times, Ya Allah, with our children. May Allah Azza wa Jal guide all our children to the path of deen. Give them the ability to cover themselves appropriately, and Ya Allah, protect them from evil eye. Protect them from, Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, from zina. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, protect them from all types of calamities and tests. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, give them a good mahal. Give them good friendship with good people that remind you of Allah and the beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Give them the mahal of Dawateislami. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, for the sake of our Murshid, accept all our sincere du'as and bless all the Muslims around the globe who have been oppressed, who are starving with starvation. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, with your mercy and rahmah, bless them. Give us peace all over the globe and guide the enemies of Islam. If there's no guidance for them, disgrace them and remove their positions. Oh Allah Almighty, bless the Muqtadis, accept their sincere du'as. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, accept their sincere du'as and give them good health and a long and pious life and a life of ibadah. Sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.